Hi guys, zlubbii here. Today I turned on text-to-speech. Impressive, I know. Anyways, a few days ago, I uploaded a quiz on my YouTube channel for my 1K sub special. Thank you all for 1K. It was all pretty normal, but there was a catch. Get a question wrong and you go back to the start. Patience, determination, and perseverance. Who had what it takes to defeat the quiz? The first half of the quiz was really just the warm-up for what was to come in the second half, though a whopping total of 1,167 attempts were made on this part. Now, call me your 8th grade pre-algebra teacher because we're gonna go over the 5 most commonly missed questions. Half of you probably haven't took pre-algebra yet, never mind, still gonna go over the questions. Number 5 is question 38, mark your calendars part 2. It's okay, this one started my villain arc too. Number 4 is question 37, mark your calendars part 1. I think this was the point where you all started hating me, I don't blame you. Number 3 is number 39, mark your calendars part 3. I nearly quit my attempt of the quiz because of this one. Number 2 is question 20, flop era, not a calendar question. But I am willing to admit I was very much blind, and so to the 57 people who answered bfdia 7, I'm sorry. Number 1 is number 40, mark your calendars part 4. Somehow this is the only social experiment where I didn't get death threats. But to the 5 people who got this one wrong, how? So, what I concluded was the following. People will get the question wrong if you make the answer wrong. You all love the calendar questions. I should make more. Out of 1,100 plus responses, only 47 made it to the next part. If things were easy then, they sure aren't now. This was the breaking point for a lot of people, but sheer determination kept them going. But, for now, here's the top 5 questions that made everyone hate me. Number 5 is question 95, not a coinkydink. These all are up here probably because nobody actually got far enough, so every wrong answer is a higher percent of the chart. Number 4 is number 94, fear factor part 2. I'm surprised less people answered fat people. Number 3 is question 87, too cool for school. I bet those 11 people who answered wrong feel like Snowball right now. Number 2 is question 88, fear factor part 1. Nobody complained about the fear factor questions the way they did the mark your calendar ones. And number 1 is question 99, zlubbie's favorite question part 3. Now I know people complained about my favorite questions, but they're my favorites so I don't really care. I know most of you aren't here for the boring stats of who got what question wrong, so I'll jump straight into the juicy stuff now. You heard me right. This quiz became so much for some to handle that they turned to rambling in the written questions of the forums for comfort. From associating every attempt number with a different thing. Too raging. But the one that caught my attention was the person who compared this quiz to the Greek myth of Sisyphus. I'd more compare this to the myth of Orpheus, but the analogy is still accurate. Out of the 1,700 plus attempts, only 47 made it to the end of part 1. 18 made it to the end of part 2. Very minor shout out to the 47 who made it through the first half. That's not an easy task. MD13K, X.W10, cool underscore content 4393, XXDXX, the Plane Fraser, Grant, Little underscore, Kuryoshi, Tax Game, Turbo ZR, Plug Guy, Who's Slatin, Lucid, Eli, GD2900XX, and Apollo, TJ underscore Animates, Gun underscore Person, Net underscore Scorpion, Ryan, A Network, Victoria underscore 2763, Gamer Pump, more subject stuff, Rush 7, The World Largest 7, Mr. Kerr, The Area Path, No Ledger, VR 606, Jojo Jacuzzi, Filio, Slippery Len, 9 BFDI, Globee, Crab, Simon, Gemini, Forzer, MSTV, Bond, Yuri Martin, Oslo, Camel 13, It's All EJCTSYT, Legatrix. Now, for the 18 who did make it all the way. Ranks are based on how quick the quiz was completed. 18th is It's All Objects YT with 38 attempts, then Gemini in 17th with 19 attempts. 16th is Chase with 13 attempts and 15th is Noah Ledger with 20. MSMDO Frox is 14th with only 1 attempt, Then Victoria underscore BFDI is in 13th with 9 attempts. Vasilin is in 12th with 32 attempts, then TJ Animates in 11th with only 1. Furioshi in 10th and Eli in 9th with 26 and 56 attempts respectively. 8th is Lyciatrix with 74 attempts, the most out of anyone on any part, and in 7th is Emilio with a very contrasting 1 attempt. The Sisyphus Ranter Tax King finishes in 6th with 29 attempts, and Plotagon Egg who speaks Latin ends in 5th with 11. Number 4 is a Goofy Plane Crazer with 16 attempts, then Cool Content 4393 placing bronze with 11 attempts. Both Benji Crux and MP13K had 1 attempt, and placed 2nd and 1st respectively. Will I question the authenticity? Nope, just smile and wave. Well, that's it for this video. If this video gets big I will make another impossible quiz consisting of only mark your calendars questions, joke, unless. Sub for more cool content.